Big Time Bad Boy aired in January of 2010, over 15 years ago. And that actually gives me a little bit of an existential crisis because I don't think of Big Time Rush as being that old of a show. In this episode, the big suits in charge of the band decide they need a bad boy to improve their image. And fun fact, this is actually Kendyl's favorite episode because despite how he acts like a bad boy, he has stated that in real life, he's not even close to a bad boy. Wow, acting. I mean, you gotta respect it. And it's a really funny trope that there's gotta be a designated bad boy in the boy band, which is something that definitely happens in real life. For the Backstreet Boys, it was AJ McLean. In One Direction, it was Zayn. In BTS, it's, well, none of them, I don't think. But in Big Time Rush, they're just a bunch of good old-fashioned hockey boys from Minnesota. How are they supposed to act like they're bad boys with, you know, tattoos and all? Oh, shit. Okay, Kendyl. All right, I see you. So since this episode released all the way back when Instagram was first launched, I figured it was time for a rewatch to see who ends up being the bad boy of the group and if I will find any of them deeply attractive in their bad boy outfits. If you like this one, please make sure to give us a fat juicy like and maybe even subscribe. And as always, if you have any other episodes or shows you want me to cover, let me know down in the comments. All right, let's dive in. We start with the boys rehearsing a new song, The City Is Ours, banger, and Gustavo is not looking impressed for some reason. And don't act like you know music if you don't put some respect on Gustavo's name. Gustavo tells them he's sick of their squeaky clean PG rated asses and the band needs some edge and needs a bad boy. He tells them all the best boy bands have a bad boy and that if they don't start getting some DUIs or getting arrested, maybe a stint in rehab, they're not gonna be famous. Also, I just boy blast. None of the boys want to be the bad boy because they're all best friends until Gustavo explains the bad boy is the most popular member of the band, gets the most bitches, and gets paid the most. Then they all volunteer, except Kendyl, who can't be swayed. I respect it. Cut to Katie at the Palmwoods and looks like she's swindling some unsuspecting victims for cash in what looks to be an illegal gambling ring. I don't think minors can gamble. And honestly, the character of Katie would get along great with Frank from It's Always Sunny. That shit would be funny. Her mom pulls up and says, you need to start acting like a normal little girl, and tells her to try hanging out with other normal little girls. And really, this is the normal little girl mom wants her to hang out with? It's one of the most creepy, unsettling looking, scary little girls I've ever seen. Katie wants no part of that broad, and the mom tells her not to judge people before getting to know them. Just then, they see a guy with an axe licking what appears to be some blood off of it. And fun fact, this is actually Janitor Gordy from Ned's Declassified, also Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents. The mom goes full Karen mode and runs away frantically and calls the cops, even though it was just the groundskeeper and the blood was just jelly from him using an axe to cut his jelly donut. Classic. Katie decides to punish her mom for being a bootlicker and for having her finger on speed dial to call 911. So she tells mom the axe killer is still on the loose, even though the cops already showed up and told Katie there was no killer on the loose. The boys enter the apartment and they're all practicing their bad boy act.
We want pizza now! Sorry.
They then try out their bad boy acts on Gustavo, the Riz Master himself. He tells them he ain't buying it for a second and says it's gonna have to be Kendyl since the rest of them all suck donkey teats at the whole bad boy thing. Kendyl says he can't be fake. He isn't good at faking.
Besides, I'm terrible at faking.
No. Kelly is terrible at faking.
Come on now. How does Gustavo know that Kelly is terrible at faking? Let's be real. Is he clapping those cheeks? Kendyl says he won't do it again, and Gustavo says, so you're going to disobey me and Griffin and the record label's wishes? Kendyl says, yeah, pretty much. And Gustavo says, that makes you bad. Ooh, got him. In the next scene, Griffin shows up and the other boys try once again to do their bad boy act. And I love how, well, Logan just puts on shades. If anything, he looks like a cop, not really a bad boy. boy. Carlos just breaks a plank of wood over his head, like some form of karate, which I associate karate with discipline, not bad boyism. And also, why does he pass out if he's smashing the fucking board on his helmet? What's the point of the helmet if you can't take the slightest bit of head trauma? James just chomps on some tinfoil and calls it a grill, and that's it. Griffin says he would let his daughter date any of these boys, which is bad because it means they're good. So he calls in Wayne to be the bad boy of the group, and apparently he's supposed to be an Eminem parody. I guess I kinda see it. He's really just a white guy who's trying to do hip-hop, and that's that. Gustavo tells them to make friends with Wayne, and the repeating word thing is kinda funny. Also, fun fact, the actor playing Wayne is the same guy who kisses Tori while he's also dating Kat in the episode of Victorious, Kat's new boyfriend. Crazy. Back at the Palmwoods, the creepy girl Molly shows up and asks if Katie can play, and Katie just ditches her ass by pretending to be stuck on the toilet. Classic move. And before you say anything, no, that is not how I got out of my junior prom date. Well, what would make you say something like that? The mom and Katie go to take out the trash when they see the groundskeeper again, who mom thinks is the axe murderer. And this time, he appears to be disposing of dead bodies. Mom freaks out again and runs off. Turns out they're just mannequins, of course.
No, I told you to store these mannequins in the basement.
Why do we have mannequin?
Putting something in the basement is a lot different than throwing it in the goddamn dumpster. This guy should be fired. That's not even close. Also, when I was a kid, I totally never noticed that Mr. Bitters is actually Craig from Malcolm in the Middle. Meanwhile, at the pool, Wayne is flirting with all the girls. Damn, he actually had to be pretty strong to do that. What else you think he can do with those arms, eh? Huh? Bet he could bring all the groceries in one trip, eh? The guys tell him that there's only room for 4 bros in Big Time Rush, and he says, I agree. He then calls up Griffin and says, yo, Griff, we need to kick someone out of the band. But unfortunately, Wayne won't be the one kicked out because he has a contract. The boys are about to beat his ass, but he points out that this contract also entitles him a posse who backs him up. Do the boys not have a contract as well? Are they just performing this music with no contractual agreement at all? The boys are busy spying on Wayne and his posse when Quinn shows up. Sorry, Camille. And she asks, when did Wally Dooley move to the Palmwoods? She explains she used to work with him on a sitcom set back in middle school where he played Towboy. And I'm kind of wondering if Wayne is really meant to be a parody of Drake now, since he pretends to be a hardcore rapper when he really got his start on a sitcom, Degrassi. Started from the bottom, my ass.
I guess I'm the one that needs the towel.
So Wayne didn't grow up on the mean streets of Detroit.
He grew up in a mansion in Dallas.
The boys confront Wayne about his past, and he tells them it doesn't matter that he's a phony because LA is full of phonies. He then tells Kendyl he's gonna make sure it's his ass who gets kicked out of the band, and Kendyl doesn't seem too bothered by that at all. The boys beg Gustavo for help, and Gustavo puts on his sad boy face and says, don't you dumbasses understand? I have no power. It's all Griffin's decision. And this moment totally killed the silly vibe for a second. Like, I'm getting upset. Why can't bro just chill and vibe out? He gives them all a song they have to perform within an hour and tells them all to get to work. Cut back to the Palmwoods, and mom is not letting Katie leave the room until the axe murderer is caught. And she says in the meantime, you'll just have to play with Molly inside the apartment. Katie says, hell no, I ain't playing with that creepy freak. She tries to prove to her mom that it's just the maintenance man and not a crazed maniac, but mom ain't buying it. Katie goes down to Gordy, sorry, Buddha Bob, and says, you gotta show my mom you are a normal maintenance man, so please just come fix something in the apartment, but leave your axe and chainsaw behind, cracker. And he agrees. The creepy girl Molly is trying to play tag with Katie, and the episode just starts acknowledging how creepy she is finally. But I thought she was creepy all along. Back at the recording studio, Kendyl enters the room with some sexy guy liner and smashes one of Gustavo's platinum records off the wall.
Ooh, it's a bad boy off!
Oof. I don't know what's happening to me, but I feel something happening. Not to be outdone, Wayne starts smashing shit too while Gustavo screams in pain. Since he ends up causing more property damage than Kendyl, he wins round 1. Next, they get in a little rap battle, and I like how Kendyl uses his hockey boy aggression against the poser. He ends up winning round 2. For round 3, Kendyl completely destroys all of Gustavo's office and takes a shit in his desk for good measure.
He destroyed my office! My music awards! And he used my drawer as a bathroom!
Bad boys go where they want,
First of all, the desk looks to be smashed to bits. So is the shit just scattered all around the room at this point? Second, I like the cute little bad boy pose he does after announcing he used Gustavo's office as his own personal toilet. Wayne tries to compete by shitting himself right then and there. Just kidding. He actually decides to assault Griffin by kicking him in the cock and balls. A bold move to go right for the gonads of the guy who signs your paycheck. Griffin promptly kicks Wayne out of the band, but Wayne points out he has a contract. Griffin says, the contract says I have to put you in a band, not this band. After Wayne is removed from the premises, Gustavo starts to celebrate with the boys. Kelly is shocked that he could possibly be in such a good mood after his office was destroyed and his desk shat upon.
I teamed up with the hockey heads, because they do have good plans.
Gustavo reveals they were all in on it together, and when he gave them a song to practice earlier, it was really a secret note that said, let's get rid of Wayne. So did Gustavo want him to shit in his desk? Is it a weird fetish? Was it part of the plan, or did Kendyl go off script? Kelly is offended that she wasn't included in the plan, and Gustavo reminds her it's because she's a terrible faker and liar and actress. Back at the Palmwoods, the maintenance guy shows up to fix the cable, and Mom rocks his shit with a deadly weapon. Straight up attempted murder. The boys sit down to watch some TV and see that Wayne has been assigned to a different band, a parody of the Wiggles, and he is singing an annoyingly catchy song about bananas, which is honestly a proper ending for him. Suddenly, the broadcast is interrupted by breaking news about Molly, who turns out is a 20-year-old wanted criminal con artist carjacker who passes herself off as an innocent little girl to try to land acting roles. That broad literally stole the mom's rental car and is on a high-speed chase right now. That's funny as hell. Also, Buddha Bob is still alive, which is nice to see. Honestly, I've yet to see a single episode of Big Time Rush that didn't make me laugh from start to finish, and this one's no exception. All the scenes with the groundskeeper looking like he's committing a violent atrocity were pretty hilarious, and the bad boy plot with Wayne was super entertaining. I really loved how far they were willing to go to get rid of him, even if it meant enormous amounts of property damage or even shitting in an office desk, which I'm pretty sure is a biohazard. Big Time Rush actually has pretty good morals as a show, with the characters refusing to turn on each other and insisting that their friendship is more important than anything, even being a bad boy. If it was any other show, I would probably find it preachy to hear a line like, no matter what, I will not turn my back on my friends. But here, it feels so natural, and I honestly buy it. The fact that all four of them remain good friends in real life, to this very day, makes it even better. And the sweet and heartwarming side of it never feels too overbearing when 99% of the show is super silly and crazy, like a cartoon with humans. But enough of me yapping. What did you guys think of Big Time Bad Boy? Do you remember this one from your childhood? Or did you block out the memory of Kendyl shitting in Gustavo's desk? Let me know how you're feeling in the comments, and let's kick it. As always, I gotta give a big time thank you to all my channel and Patreon members. I love you guys more than Carlos loves wearing his helmet, and I could kiss every one of you with even a little bit of tongue, metaphorically speaking, of course. And I have an epic haiku for you guys today. They say, play it straight. Don't look back. Don't hesitate. When you got big cock. If you liked this video, please give us a like and maybe even subscribe. And let me know if you're interested in more Big Time Rush videos in the future. This was one of my favorite shows as a kid, so I'd love to talk about it more if you guys want to hear it. Alright, thanks for listening.